Welcome to a 2v2 on Trois Pont. This game is going to be Smersh and Spec61, who have both picked Lend-Lease immediately, which makes me believe that they know each other. They're both employing the exact same strategy and build. Look at their manpower, is exactly equal. That's amazing. They both even queued up their conscripts at the same time. I feel like they're clones or something. That's so weird. They queued up their cons at the exact same instant and chose the exact same commander. Okay, they are the Lend-Lease swarm. They will assimilate you. And their opponents are Wulpenstein and Stormless. Breakthrough Doctrine and Stormless has gone Austere with Close Air Support, Lightning War, and Jaeger Armor. Pretty standard 2v2 fare. Soviets going mostly center and left for now.
You need something built?
Objective secured. We will defend it to the death.
Combat engineers moving for this strategic point on the right. No engagements yet. Sturmpiles making their way towards this area, and it looks like we're going to see an attempt at a very aggressive battle group on the island, which I don't generally consider to be a very good idea to put it in the cemetery. I find that quite difficult to defend against the double team and against Soviet indirect fire. But Lend-Lease doesn't have any serious indirect fire potential, so this may actually work out nicely. I don't know if they're gonna get away. Barely. Sturm switch targets, but they leave their green cover position. What are you doing, Wulpenstein? That was a horrible idea. Just charged into two full squads of conscripts set up in cover and will be forced to retreat. I don't think this battle group is going to happen without support from his teammates. Stormless working the center. Squads of grenadiers making their way to this general area, but none in the cemetery yet. Three squads of conscripts swarming this area. Stormless' first squad of Grens is making its way to assist. Kubelwagen making its way here to assist. And if that Kubel can suppress one squad, I think the engagement will be won for the Axis. You should probably switch to the squad in yellow cover over here. He can definitely suppress that. Grenadiers closing into short range. This squad of conscripts closing into short range. I consider a Molotov. These two grenadiers firing on conscripts. And there's the Molotov toss. Gonna pull back a little bit. These grenadiers firing on conscripts in the victory point. Molotov going into the church. That squad gets wiped. Apparently Spec61 was not paying attention to that. The left side is completely in Soviet hands, though. Four squads of conscripts holding the center VP, while combat engineers plant some possibly demos or mines over here on the left side. Maybe work on these territories, which the Axis are making no real attempt at. Spec61 has only two squads of conscripts currently remaining. No tech from him. And apparently he has been doing pretty much all of the fighting, because he's up to 2 command points and Smersh still has 0. Axis, on the other hand, have pretty evenly split their efforts. And as a result, we'll take pretty much total control of the right side island. These 4 squads of conscripts are making their way to assist in engagements, however. Grenadiers setting up in green cover along this balcony. Mortar moving to assist as well. Kubelwagen also moving to assist. I don't think that these Grenadiers can possibly win this engagement, though, unless that Kubelwagen gets a really nice burst and doesn't push them all out of cover. Oh, those Grenadiers just got pushed out of that green cover. That squad falling dangerously low, could get wiped right here. Trying to retreat that. 1 of 4 conscript squads is suppressed. Molotov gets tossed at that area, that green cover position. This squad has to retreat from that flamethrower, although it fell extremely low during the engagement. Stern Pios don't look like they're being monitored during this either and could get wiped. So those conscripts would unleash one more volley on them. They need to move over here to get a line though. Battle group headquarters will be attempted. I don't know if that's going to succeed though. There's 4 con squads right there. If they spot this going up, they should be able to oorah in and shut it down. Not off to a great start right there though. Looks like he's going to be able to complete this. Those conscripts messed up any attempt that they could have had at taking that thing down. Conscripts trying to destroy the reinforced steel barricade will be successful. There it goes. He could move up from the south flank if he wanted to. Moving in from this direction. No anti-tank grenades from him. We do have AT grenades from Smersh though. Looks like that Kubel's going to go down. Has a destroyed engine. There's no way for him to save it against what's coming. I don't know if he's going to be able to keep this sheer quantity of enemies at bay without support from Stormless, who is nowhere nearby to support. He's made a full retreat and taking too long to get back to assist. Way too long. I don't think he can hold this line without just reinforcing like crazy and just trying desperately to force some retreats. Stern Pios will probably get that suppressed squad out of here. Molotov toss on those Volksgrenadiers is bringing them very low. Dushka also moves up to support in this engagement, suppresses the Sturms. More Molotovs being tossed. That squad of Volksgrenadiers had no choice but to retreat, but some Fusiliers made it to the engagement. This squad of conscripts might get wiped. Tossing a Molotov before retreating though. Grenade tossed by the Fusiliers on the Dushka brings it pretty low. But the Fusiliers also retreat from that Molotov. Finally, Stormless arrives to support in the engagement. His mortar should be able to push away some infantry. It looks like Wulpenstein will be able to win this slowly with mortar support. It's going to take some time. And the left side is being taken by Stormless Pios. And Stormless Grenadiers are moving down the left side road. You may encounter that Dushka right there, though. Immediately suppressed by that burst. Rifle grenade on that one. Will clear it out. Lots of Dushkas being fielded. 2 by each of these players.
We have more conscripts at our disposal.
Interesting maneuver. What is he doing? Just walked it up into point blank range. It's 2 infantry squads. Works about as well as I was expecting it to. About to get wiped.
We have lost a machine gun crew.
There's now 2 machine guns here for the Axis to salvage or crew.
Vishka HMGs are ready to deploy.
Panzer Grenadiers wipe another one with Stern Pile support, and finally the fuel point is secure. The Axis will get it back under their control. Center victory point being taken by these Minesweeper Pios. And the Allies have been reduced to not very many forces. Again, 2 squads of conscripts for Spec. Smersh has 4 and 1 of his machine guns left. Axis have not lost much of anything. Still operating on very strong forces for both of them, and they could get even stronger should they decide to crew these machine guns. Or Wulpenstein could simply salvage them, either way.
Officer, ready to be deployed.
That was a weird rifle grenade. I don't know what that was aimed at, but okay. Does not hit anything. Those conscripts will retreat, however, after throwing a Molotov into the church. Doesn't look like the Allies are making much forward progress into the center of the map, but Stormless's efforts for the north will get shut down hard by that conscript and flamethrower force. The last remaining Dushka is taking up a position in this house to protect the victory point. The Axis will need to find a way to unseat that.
Stand by for instruction.
Here. Where's the medic?
Target captured. No enemy contact. Awaiting fire mission.
We have a full complement! Pioneers awaiting orders.
Mortar firing at conscripts in the south, and the Axis are setting up a very strong defense here in the center. Still no salvaging of any of these team weapons or crewing of them. I don't know why they would just leave these here. Should definitely salvage those. Salvage your crew. Tier 4 going up, I think. Put these a little close together, but should be fine. Finally salvaging. Panzer Grenadiers have to retreat. His tank gun has to pull back to safety by the battle group headquarters if possible. There's more wire going right here and here to make it even harder to take control of this position and allow the Axis to move forward and try and take a little bit more territory. Big flank around this route by that blob of conscripts. AT gun does make it to safety. And Obersoldaten are in production from OKW, and Stormless is going with an Ostwind. Meanwhile, the Allies have not teched at all, continuing to operate only on conscripts and call-in units while they wait to be able to field either these half-track assault groups or their Shermans. Spec61 has continued to engage so much more lethally than his teammate. He's up to 7 command points, his teammate only at 4. But a lot of those command points are just from squad wipes. He just lost 2 more full squads of conscripts, down to 2 squads of cons and a flamethrower again. Ooh, that mortar is inflicting heavy losses, up to 12 kills now. Rifle grenade could hurt a lot too, bringing those squads quite low, and here's the Ostwind to chase them down on retreat. There goes that full squad. These squads are getting burned to death by Molotov fire though. Should be able to get home safely, and another squad gets wiped. Those AT grenades just have futility written all over them because there's no AT guns in the area at all, nor do they even have the tech structure with which to build them. They cannot kill this Ostwind with just AT grenades. I don't even know why Stormless is bothering to kite. He should just hold still and just let them waste their munitions. 2 AT grenades will not do enough damage to kill this. You could just stand there, probably be fine. Stern Pyos move up for repairs. I don't know what that AT gun is doing though. Meanwhile, here in the north, another squad gets wiped. Combat engineers by Panzer Grenadiers and Grenadiers. This game is rapidly spiraling out of control for the Allies. There goes another full squad. And another full squad. Spec61 has literally no units at all. So he queues up 2 more conscript squads, why not?
The enemy has 300 points remaining.
0 out of 100 pop cap at 14 minutes into the game. Not a very good situation to be in. Smersh, 3 conscripts, a Dushka, and his flamethrowers. But both of them are floating fuel like crazy, no doubt about that. And the Shermans are going to be here sort of soon. Wonder if those supply drop planes are even going to make it. Looks like that one made it, despite being under Ostwind and Tier 4 structure fire. Dropping that fuel supply crate. Not that I think that that's really necessary. I mean, they are floating like mad. 300 and 350. Fuel control has not really been terrible considering how horrible their engagements have been so far. Building's gonna go down.
Team reports ready. One of our machine guns has been silenced.
What are you doing?
One of infantry has been killed. Death before retreat.
Oh my goodness, this is just painful. So many conscripts just being hurled to their deaths under Ostwind fire and grenades and just everything. It's really rough. 2 mortars have been fielded by Smersh. I guess to try and do something against these grenadiers. Indirect fire is probably the logical thing to do when you've lost all of your infantry and cannot possibly overwhelm the Axis defensive position on this island. I don't know if I think 2 standard Soviet mortars is really going to get much done though. Allies have basically nothing left except for massive fuel reserves, and they're slowly getting their way up to the Sherman. But I feel like their manpower losses have been so severe.
We are ready to go, comrades.
We now have access to additional battle. We are losing supplies to the enemy.
The Allies have almost nothing left anywhere, yet the Axis continue to play oddly defensively. I mean, when your opponent has been reduced to almost literally no units left, I think it's safe to be a little bit more aggressive and try to take some territory back. You don't just have to defend your half of the map anymore. Although they definitely do have the majority of points, and they are making a tiny push for the strategic point right there. There's certainly no rush. And who knows how many Shermans they'll have to survive against as they get hurled against them over the course of the game. Smersh has actually gone tier 4 into a Katyusha. That probably makes sense to do. If both of them just spammed a zillion Lend-Lease Shermans, they could probably try and make something happen against a sort of weak anti-tank position here. Mostly overs produced. I don't see any real hard anti-tank yet, other than this Volksgrenadier squad. Stormless has a pack somewhere. Not that much AT though. This one's not off to a very good start though. Stormless overextends his Ostwind a little bit without support. It's probably gonna die. This needs to get back to safety. It should be fine. Ostwind will blitz to safety. Sherman trying to chase. Ostwind rounds the corner. Not in time. It is destroyed. And the tide of Shermans is rolling onto the field. 2 from Spec61 and 1 from Smersh in addition to his Katyusha. They are going to lose total map control though. They don't have that much fuel coming in anymore, so gonna have to make a big impact with the Shermans they do have on the field. Off to a good start, eliminating that AT gun, but they should probably destroy the weapon entirely so it can't be recrewed in its current position. It won't be that hard for the Axis to retake. Working on the left side, Flamethrower squad should win against those Minesweeper Pyos. These 2 Shermans going in hard. Super close air support gets called in on these Shermans. That one's probably going to get taken out on the next pass. Can't get clear of the strike zone. Katyusha bombarding this tight clump. Oh man, move! Why would you stand in a Katyusha barrage with overs? Fortunately, the spread at this range was pretty off target, and didn't get any miracle rockets on these clumped infantry, but that could have been disastrous. This gets destroyed by a Panzerfaust, I think. Super close air support comes in for another pass on something. I don't know what it shot at. I have no idea where the strike zone is. There it is. It ends right there. Oh, he hits a mine! He's probably gonna get clear though. I don't know. I didn't really see that super close air support hit anything else. There it goes. Ooh, and it abandons that Sherman. Panther on the field from Wulpenstein. 1 Sherman destroyed, 1 Sherman abandoned. It looks like it's going to get recovered though. Should maybe be able to pull that back to safety. With its damaged engine and a Panther right there, pretty decent chance it will be destroyed though. I don't know if the Axis spotted that getting abandoned or not. He needs to move up and destroy that. I mean, it looks like he doesn't know that's there, though. This one has been destroyed by Panther Fire. Smersh and Spec61 have been reduced to basically nothing left. Again, for like the 4th time this game.
Return fire!
Fresh conscripts have arrived.
Oh. Sniped by the Panther and Tier 4 structure, although if I'm being honest, I don't know what he thought that was going to accomplish. If they were just trying to get their CPs up as high as possible in the early game by mass suiciding conscripts, that obviously is no longer necessary. So they should stop doing that. Katyusha bombarding this area again.
Conscripts are now disposal.
I feel like these infantry are stuck or something. Like, why would they not be moving? Maybe they can't get out of this. Maybe they can't move.
The sector is at risk.
He could probably like vault a wall or try and figure something out. It looks like he can probably maybe move. Maybe the medics are keeping him boxed in. I feel like that's a bug. I don't think that Wulpenstein would just be standing there. Those 2 squads for like the entire game. Why would he do that? He moved the rest of his blob over here. Pretty sure they're stuck. I don't know though. There's a Tiger from Stormless making its way into the Soviet base. There's not really anything to keep it from walking in here and killing everything. 2 M4C Shermans might be able to beat it if that one actually gets repaired. Stormless should probably not expose his rear armor though. I think he's looking for the Katyusha. He's not going to be able to find it. He has pushed everything off the left side though. His Grenadiers are moving to get that territory under control. M4C Sherman chasing that Tiger down. For some reason. I don't know what he thinks this is going to accomplish other than the death of another one of his tanks. But okay, there it goes. With that one taken down, this one will be pretty easy to deal with. Smersh has the fuel for 1 more of those tanks, and then the Allies will probably not make another one for the entire rest of the game. Supply drop being fielded. Field gun. That makes some sense to do, although I don't know if it's going to be enough. There goes another tank. Stormless is going to pull this back to safety. Takes a lot of anti-tank grenades, though. He may lose this Tiger. Pretty okay trade, honestly, taking out two Shermans. Who knows how many infantry as he's pulling back to safety. Field gun moves for the long-range final shot, and it is successful. Stormless will lose his Tiger, but the Allies are pushed completely back into their base. Have lost way more than they can afford to have lost, and they're losing the strategic points immediately by their base.
Sector.
There's another squad wipe. How many squad wipes have there been in this game? Wow, 8 of 9 conscripts lost by Smersh. And 14 of 16 conscripts lost by Spec61. My god, that is just ridiculous. Come on, Soviet players, are you even trying? Are you even trying to keep your infantry alive this game? That's just mean.
Brave infantry have made the ultimate sacrifice.
Well, I would say this game's pretty much over. I think. I certainly don't know how the Axis could, how the Axis could possibly lose. I guess throwing away a bunch of full squads right there might help. I don't know. And handing over an AT gun. Katyusha making its way back onto the field. The Tiger is dead. The Panther's not. This ridiculous blob over here. Look at this. Look at this thing. This is ridiculous. Katyusha's firing somewhere. It's actually brought these trucks pretty low. I don't think it's going to destroy them though, especially since the Katyusha just exploded the Panther fire right there. Panzer II on the field, making its way into the base. Panzer IV just sort of blowing up base defenses, I guess. Apparently he's going to send this damaged engine M4C Sherman into the battlefield. I mean, it doesn't matter, the game's pretty much over. Yet the Allies actually do have victory point control right now. But they don't have a victory point lead. Victory points are not even close. Axis moving to take back control of that. And the blob, the OKW blob, is walking into the Allied base. And killing everything. Super close air support gets called into the base as well. Why am I even watching this? There's another Tiger. It gets abandoned. They don't really need to steal that though, it makes no difference. Dushkas are being spammed to try and push this blob away out of the base. There goes the tier 4 structure. There goes that entire blob. Field guns getting cleared out. Tiger wrapping up all the rest of the infantry in here. Basically just slowly waiting for the victory points to run out, and both teams seem to just be amusing themselves moving their units around. The Axis might consider ending the pain by capturing this point. That might be a merciful thing to do.
We are down to 75 points. We have lost the machine gun crew. Our command post is under assault. We may now deploy heavy machine guns. One of our machine guns has been silenced.
I don't really have anything to say about this other than the entire Axis army is in the Allied base. That is happening. Panther's dead. There's a moral victory, I guess. Even the SWS half-track showed up to this fight. And the points have run out. Ironically, Stormless had almost nothing left at the end. The OKW blob was still going pretty strong though. So, GG, I guess. Wouldn't really call this a very even game. Soviet players definitely need to work on a lot. Axis had a few areas in which they could improve as well, but I guess, I don't know. Axis wins.